Hi everybody, I'm Randy Ridings, and this is the Quadyak Coast to Coast. In 2013, my father and I built a human-powered amphibious velomobile. In 2018, I started a trip from the West Coast in Oregon, headed towards the East Coast. This playlist is a series of videos that will detail that trip. Each video will cover about a 10-day 200 to 400 mile leg of this trip. I'm glad to have you with me and hope you follow along to the end.
It is Wednesday, 26th of September. This would be officially day 80 of the trip, although not part of the uninterrupted trip this summer. Taking about a month off. I've only ridden a couple of times because I damaged the Quadyak. I had to get it fixed. I am back at the Dutch Kitchen where I finished. And my dad drove me over here. My host family came up, brought their dog up for me to pet. The husband's coming out to meet me. So I gotta get on 50 and go in towards the river. I'm at 2,339 miles right now. I just got started. I've been riding for like 1 minute. I got somebody coming to escort me. We come from S.Hutchinson to Hutchinson. We're in Cary Park. There's a put-in point down here in the park. Pretty soon I'll stop and put the pontoons on once we get down to the launch point. My host and guide, Harlan, has brought me down to the river. Okay, so the bike trail is right up there. We got this little walkway here. We're rolling this down. You can see the river. Okay, after a truly horrendous launch, hit a sandbar and got turned sideways. Had to go through the bridge backwards. But if I'm pointing downriver and if I hit a sandbar, I will just go up over the top of it. Oh, I'm up on a sandbar. Like really up on a sandbar. Oh, let's go over it. There we go. Like I went over the top of that and just dragged the pontoons. I was still in maybe an inch of water. The farther down I go, the deeper this river will get because tributaries feed it. Just on the other side of Tulsa, it's like a full river. The thing I would worry about is if this split and split and split and get into little tiny tributaries and they got shallow, and then I'd have a problem. Yeah, I'm hoping to maybe do like 20 miles today, and then I'll just find sandbar to camp on. This is just crazy quadyaking. I'm up on a sandbar again right now. This one is getting deep. All right, if I can steer to the right. Just keep moving forward. Oh, okay. Nope. What I need to do is get my weight off of the pontoons, and that would be by standing up and getting my weight over the front wheels, and then I should float loose. This is going to be some slow going because I keep getting spun around and trapped on sandbars. So if I take my eyes off the river for 30 seconds, I get stuck. But I got over the edge into the current with the front wheels. Kind of shows how much force those wheels have. I really can't complain too much because this is what I expected the entire North Platte River to be like. As it turns out, they had been getting a lot of rain. The North Platte was actually fairly fast and moving swift. But if I ever wanted to do prop-driven amphibious, like the wheels would lift out of the water. So the only things that would be in the water right now would be the boat and a prop, just like a regular boat. It would be considerably faster than this, but I couldn't use it in this river. It would just hang up in this sand and break. This is one of the reasons I went with paddle wheels, in case I ever wanted to do shallow water stuff. The Platte, the Arkansas. So I would have to do an entirely different route. It's actually kind of fun to deal with these sandbars. I mean, yeah, they're slowing me down, but it's a really good testament to kind of how tough this boat is and how versatile it is. I have yet to have to get my feet wet because this boat will pull itself over a sandbar. Nope, 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 nope. Come on, come on, come on. All right, I gotta miss that thing. Miss it, don't hang on it. Okay, good. So, as long as I pay attention and I hit the channels, gear down, that helps me get over the sand stuff, not blowing out my knees to try to do it. All right, I see deep water ahead of me if I can get to it. And no. Okay, there's deep water right there. And I think I can push my paddle to get out to that. So, I am working my way off that same sandbar, almost to the edge. loose. Alright, I'm just about over open water. You can probably tell it's moving a little bit more now. There we go. And now I'm out. That's usually about as much work as I have to do to get off the sandbar. So it is now 2 hours into the trip and I've made 5.25 miles. That ahead of me is Yoder Road, or yeah, I've made it to Yoder Road, or I can't, no, okay. Yoder made it to Yoder Road, or I have, no. That is Yoder Road. I am going to want to camp on a sandbar like that one you see right there. Easy to land on, easy to launch from, and I want to be on the west side. Tomorrow morning is going to be one of the coldest mornings of this trip. We'll be down in the 40s. If my tent is on the west bank, then the sun is going to hit it first, which will warm the tent up, warm me up, wake me up, dry the tent out. It is 7 o'clock. I've been on the river for 4 hours and I've done 10 miles, which means I should be able to do 20 miles a day. Getting this thing out of here, whew, I didn't realize how soft this stuff was. When things are going well on this trip, I absolutely love this trip. I've been wanting to do this for so many years. When things are not going well, when I'm hungry, when I'm hurt, when I'm running into obstacle after obstacle, I still love the trip. I just love it less. Wednesday the 26th, I did 10 miles on the river, a little over 10 miles on the road today. Pretty close to 20 for the day. Good morning. September 27th, day 81 of the trip. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed. Well, I went to bed at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so I slept for 12 hours. There's a couple of bad things about sandbar camping, and one of them is you get sand everywhere, and the other one is that sleeping on river banks, sandbars, islands, whatever, they just sweat. This tent needs to dry out. So I get in the river in S.Hutchinson, and my next big city is Wichita. I didn't bring as much water as I needed. I really had meant to buy a couple of, 2 or 3 1-liter things, and I just kind of forgot. So I'm going to kind of ration my water today. To do that all summer, I was really good. I carried lots and lots of water. It amazes me, I keep having to relearn lessons, and one of them is to carry more water than you need, not potentially less water than you need. Got the rear end floating in the water. I have a wind today, and it's not a good one. It's right in my face, so that's gonna slow me down. Sandbars are gonna slow me down. I am not counting on any kind of record-breaking day. You deal with the road you're given, not the road you want. In this case, the river you're given, not the river you want. And I'm stuck on sandbar number 1. I have done 1/3 of a mile. So I'm going to do a count for a little while on how many sandbars I hit and how many I hang up on. So I've hit 3 and hung up on 1. Here's a fun obstacle. There's a floating pipe out through here. Hopefully I go over it. Yikes. A lot of rivers you can just kind of go down the middle of it and every once in a while dodge a rock or whatever. This is constant bar avoidance. Just keep slogging away and don't let it get me frustrated. This is the new normal. I just relax and say, well, this is this part of the trip. This is what you got to do. That is the Haven Road Bridge. Kind of hoping I'd find like a fisherman here or a park, like conservation area, boat launch, place to fill up all my water bottles. I had planned to rebuild the pontoons, and now I think I'm going to have to. I would imagine all this scraping over sandbars is going to wear them down pretty bad. So I need to go back to making something that will slide really well. Maybe I can mold some high density plastic for the bottom, foam fill the top. Okay, I just hit an hour and I did 2.85 miles and I hit 20 sandbars and hung up on 2. So that's not bad. All the little creatures love me. Dragonfly hanging out on my shoulder. Probably likes the blue. The whole trip across the country, I was lamenting the fact that I was getting very little upper body exercise. My legs were in great shape. This trip, I think, is going to be a little different. The amount of pushing on this paddle might actually get some upper body exercise out of this. Oh, I am way up on it. Okay, can I cut over to the current? Can I get there? Yes. Boil some water. Boil a little bit, make some Gatorade. Just drink that for the rest of the day and serve my water. I got my water on there boiling. I'm gonna try to get that as level as possible, using the wheel as a windbreak. This is something I would probably only do if I'm very low on water and heavy on fuel, which I am right now. So I've got just enough in that to fill a water bottle, and you're supposed to get that up to a boil and keep it there for 3 minutes. Alright, so I would like to point out this river keeps just splitting into channel after channel after island after island. I don't even know how many we got going right now. It's hard to tell which one to take. And they call that tree Raft Killer. There's like 4 rafts hung up in that thing. Oh, speaking about hung up. Yeah, I am well and truly stuck on this one. I ain't getting out of this. Oh, crud. I go along for like 10 minutes, just going fine. I pick up my camera and start filming and I get stuck again. So I got onto a sandbar. It's not a great one. The reason why is is kind of swampy, which means mosquitoes. And I've barely seen any mosquitoes yet this trip, but I've seen them here on this sandbar. This is muddy right here, pretty murky. I wanted a place to dip relatively clean water, but I gotta walk out into the middle, get my shoes wet every time. I'm heating more water up. For dinner, I am going to have some miso soup, because I can feel I'm a little dehydrated. My mouth is dry, dizziness, a little bit, not too bad. So I'm going to drink the rest of that Gatorade that I made earlier. With the rest of that liquid, I'll probably make some hot chocolate. I don't want to make any more coffee tonight. But in the morning, I'll heat up enough water for coffee. I need to get liquids back in my... Anyway, 20 miles today. I really wanted to do 30-mile days on this leg. This river is not going to let me do that. 7:30 now, the sun's down. I got just a few more minutes of daylight. Good morning. It is Friday the 28th, day 82 of the trip. I've got my stove going here, heating some water up. I got my solar panel hanging up. Sun came up at 7:30. It's 8 now. I'm right at the fall solstice, so I'm getting 12 hours day, 12 hours night. I'm wearing long stuff today. I'm going to try to even wear long pants, even though getting in and out of the water, that's going to be a pain because I got no sunscreen. It looks like I've got just about 10 miles to get to the outskirts of Wichita, where I get out of the river and onto the bike path. The bike path is 17 miles long. So I'm certainly hoping to get around Wichita today. Hey, I've been on 6.6 miles in 2 hours and 40 minutes, and this is one of those things that I really always wanted to not do. Pinned a snag between the boat and a pontoon. Been doing pretty good. This is the first time I got out of the Quadyak in about an hour. Really haven't taken a break. One time when I hung up, I stopped and ate some oranges, but I haven't got out and walked around kind of break. And I might not. After a couple days, you just don't need that as much. You just keen into the to the pain and just keep going. Well, I've got about 9.5 miles. It looks like I got about another 7 to that dam. I'll get out, put the wheels on, and go through, try to get on the other side of Wichita. And in the meanwhile, this is what it looks like when I get turned sideways in one of these narrow channels and jam in the channel. And the sand keeps piling up behind me over here. You can kind of see what's going on there. I am in Wichita, and this is the bike trail. This was my exit point. Now, there's a dam right down there, but there was a spillway up there I did not know about. Okay, I went through the spillway. You're not supposed to, but the water was this deep. Now, I still had problems because although it was that deep, it was a pretty serious downgrade, and I thought I could get in there and roll, and had I had my rear wheels on, I probably could. With these things on, they catch water weird. They want to turn you sideways and flip the boat around, and so I almost flipped sideways in that thing. That wouldn't have been good, but I got out. I straightened back out. I went down, got out. So what I got to do now? Pontoons off, wheels on. One of those has a flat. Change that. Go to the store. Water, Gatorade, sunscreen. People are going to think I'm insane. Get back on the trail, head that way. Said this is like 14 miles. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I may end up just camping somewhere here in Wichita. The other thing I didn't mention is somehow not only did I have a flat tire on that same one, it had a busted spoke. So there's some cool bridges through Wichita and some cool sculptures, and there are kayakers in the river. More cool sculptures and bridges. Now, the thing they do have good signage for is their dams and their spillways. All of them have been very well marked. Call that a boat bypass, like you could kayak down through that easily. So I'm going back across. The trail ended over there. I could have just stayed this trail over here on this side. It's all in all a faster trail. Good morning. It is Saturday the 29th, day 83. You may infer by the way I'm dressed that it's a little chilly out here. So I'm still in Wichita. I'm on the southern edge of Wichita. That's as far as I got. I did 13 miles on the trails yesterday. This trail continues on down the river a ways. On the other hand, the reason I camped right here is because I saw a sign that said river access. So I pulled in here, I parked here, walked down, and right down there is the river and difficult access. And this is the river access trail. It doesn't look too bad from here, but down to that corner there, then it drops, gets all rocky. Gotta go over a bunch of stuff. Might go backwards because it's easier to maneuver it. This is what I'm dealing with here. So what I think I'm gonna do, come down here and there and out. I got down to the water. I did take all the heavy stuff out, tool bag, all the liquids, so I didn't unload everything. I'm down by the water's edge now. I put the pontoons in, swing the front end out, and I just worked my way through this stuff, avoided the big rocks I'd hang up on. No more boiling water from this river. I've gone past 2 big landfills. I'm starting with what I hope would be enough water to last me the rest of this trip. Okay, I'm launched. I even kept my feet dry. Spot back there I came off of. Leaving from Wichita, Saturday the 29th at 10:30 in the morning. So I am doing about 2.5 miles an hour because there's no current through here that I can tell. This is kind of a pool of some kind. And I've got a headwind. Having no current on a river like this often means there's a dam. So it's really bumpy through here because I am on a rock bottom and I am essentially just driving on it. It's just deep enough to float me. The wheels providing traction. But that doesn't mean I can't get hung up on something. Then I got to get off of it. So saw some fishermen, asked about dams, and they said there are maybe 2 more. Well, now I know why there wasn't any current, because there's a kind of a natural dam going on here. Just kind of a rock escarpment. It's holding water back. And now I get to go over this. And I didn't see this till I got right on top of it. Usually in this river you can aim for dark patches, and that's the deep patches. But the rock patches are also dark. This looked good, it looked dark, it was fast moving. I thought, okay, it's all going over here. Went over here, nope, it's all on top of the rock. So I hit this stuff pretty fast and just like totally high-centered myself. So I kept seeing what looked like an optical illusion. It looked like the water dropped. And then I got closer and the water drops. It's just like a foot. So I'm just gonna go up to it. Probably just go straight at it. It's not strong current. I get up there and then just lift the Quadyak over and get on the other side. That's kind of what I thought that was. We'll pull you in. All right, I gotta get off of this thing first. There, I'm back in the downstream current. So I got up near it, turned sideways, and I could just step onto it, and then I lifted the Quadyak over and then got back in. Any bigger than that and you can get into hydraulics that'll kind of whirlpool you. Okay, this last hour has been a little slower. I'm at 4 hours and 9.65 miles. Everything I see ahead of me clear across is sandbar. So this is what I've been having to do, is get out and pull sometimes half a mile down before I get a place that it dips back down and gives me current again. All right, I've been going 4 hours and 18 minutes, which should be just about half the day. And I've gone 10.5 miles. I still have this headwind, so I've been fighting that all day, which isn't helping. I would probably be getting another half a mile an hour. I hopefully will make 20 miles a day, and you know, that's all I'm making, and that's all I'm making. I made 30.6 yesterday, 20 each the day before, so 20, 40, 30, 70. Today will round it off to 90. I have one more full day tomorrow, get me maybe to 110. If I'm over 100, I think I'm going to count this leg lucky with as shallow and slow as this river's going. Wow. I really hope they're not shooting this way. Could be dove hunting, in which case it wouldn't matter. You can get peppered with that stuff from far away, little pellets that just don't hold any energy. That's kind of what it sounds like, a bunch of guys dove hunting. Let me show you what I'm dealing with here. I'm back in these rocks. I can't tell the deep, dark stuff from these rocks, which I have to walk through. I mean, I've ridden through some of them. If it was a solid sheet, I would just ride, but it breaks up. I hit these things, bounce up on them, high center. I've just come to the realization that when I get stuck like this, I just pull the boat straight down river. That will eventually get me to a point where I'll find current. Pulling it down river easier. Like right now, it's to get this thing moving. I mean, it's a slog. So eventually at the end of a bunch of that rocky stuff, you hit something like this, which I believe is the end of the escarpment. And then from this point on, it should just be back to sand and deep places. But there's probably layer after layer of that stuff that the river's cutting down through. I'll probably keep hitting stuff like this. All right, I've done exactly 13 miles in 5 hours and 48 minutes. Still, I think, kind of on track to make 20 miles today. That is a V of pelicans. Okay, the wind is getting worse. I'm getting actually like small whitecaps, and when I turn this direction, if I gotta pedal fast, I will just douse myself with water for my pedals. So this wind is slowing me down drastically. Why can't I have 1,000 miles of river like this? No wind, deep channel, going straight down river, a little bit of a current. And the wind is still howling. I'm just protected from it. I can see from the tops of the trees up there that it's going good. I'm not pedaling really fast. Keep my heart rate about 100, 110 because I need the energy to do the sprints when I get on a sandbar or get out and pull this thing. So twice in the last 15 minutes, I have found myself just up on a log, like balanced, teetering. And there's another one. Okay, that one I got over. Ooh, the other thing you have in these things, well, crap, I can't make it through that. There's a pipe across here. I've got to stop. Well, now I get to go overland, but I saw this from far away and I just went, oh, I might be able to make through that. I am getting tired, and so I'm making bad decisions. I'm done. Done 18 miles in 8 hours. I could have probably made 20 in 9 hours. Pushed this right to sunset. I'm literally stumbling around right now. I am, as the British say, knackered. So, today is Saturday the 29th. Good morning. It is Sunday the 30th of September, day 84 of the trip. And so you can see my little cook stoves going there, and I have some oatmeal with cranberry raisins and some coffee that I'm going to have. Looked at my map. I think I can make Oxford, Kansas. That's where I'll end. And the reason why is there's only so many bridges and takeout points. It's a good place to get picked up. It's just a few miles west of Winfield, straight west of where I live and where Dad's coming from. So they can come across southern Kansas really easy to come pick me up. So this isn't the problem, but just as a side note, you know what these tiny little rings that go around the stems don't like? Little tiny grains of sand in the threads. It took me 10 minutes to get that thing off. Randy Writing's the Quadyak, asking components to do things they were never meant to do since 2013. Have you ever spun dry a rim on an amphibious vehicle? Yeah, I didn't think so. Hashtag my life's not like other people's. It's the little things, right? Okay, we have launch on Sunday the 30th. About 10 o'clock in the morning. Still have a headwind. You see the sandbar to the left and my current to the right between those two logs. And there's a snag. But so this is like, it's just obstacle course kayaking is what it is. You just gotta keep your wits about you all the time. Like that snag there, do I go to the left of it, do I go to the right of it? Speed up to go over here and hope I don't hit one of the branches of it. I did 5.4 miles in 2 hours. Well, I'm back into the rocks. And I can see out here, there's a ripple pattern. It is shallow all the way across here. There is no current. That's about a half a mile I get to walk. Towing this thing. If I let my boat go, it starts going upriver because of the wind. I've been in and out of the boat about 10 times in the last half an hour. Over the sand was better than over the rocks. Well, I decided to take a break. It's been 3.5 hours. You can see the trees over there. The wind is, if anything, even worse. I am getting tired. This kind of trips, the tiredness is accumulative. You get tired one day, even if you get a good night's rest, one night's not enough. If that's for Kansas Highway 55, then I should be about 7 straight line miles to Oxford. Good morning. Today is October 1st. It is not the day of the trip because I'm not going anywhere today. Just getting picked up. I am at Oxford, Kansas. I did make it here. It's just a shade over 20 miles. Really nice park. One night backwoods primitive camping for people on the river. So you can come here, get dropped off, camp, get going the next morning, or do what I did, come in and get picked up. Oh, I ended up doing, I think, 101 miles in 5 days. I was getting just about 20 miles a day, every day. Yeah, I took a bath yesterday. I took a spill right at the end. Anyway, fell in the water. It was cold for a little while till I dried off. But that's just it. If it was 10 degrees colder and the water temperature was 10 degrees colder, that would have created probably a medical emergency. Arg. So there I am, 5 days out from Hutchinson on the bloody Kansas River, and I see an obstacle in my path. There's an old mill torn down, just rock spires up through the river, down through a mighty chutes of boiling water, and I head for one, and right down through the middle, thinking I got her. My trusty Quadyak hangs up on a rock, tipping to starboard, and I decide I'll go off the side, guide her over the rough spots. Well, my leg's down 3 foot. My boat's listing, but the gunnel's about this far from water. If I pull on it, I'm gonna swamp her.
So I got to make a decision, and I got to make it quick. I do the only thing I can do, the thing that makes me the scourge of the Willamette, Columbia, North Platte, Arkansas, the scourge of the four rivers. I let go, and I take a bath. I wasn't planning on one till spring, and the winds are blowing, and the sun ain't shining, and it was a mite chilly there for a while. Yeah, so that's how I ended my day yesterday. Just 2 miles upriver. I haven't actually fell in, taken a full dive in a long time. Yeah, when I hung up, I thought I could see a rock beside me. I was going to step out on it. When I stepped out, there was nothing there. Dad should be here in about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm just waiting in the park. I want to come back here when the river is no lower than this, hopefully another inch or two higher, but not flood stage, and when the weather's good. That might not be till spring.
And I'm almost Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma's just below Ark City, so maybe another 40 miles at the most. Actually, 2,450 miles in 84 days. It's about 29 and a half.
Join me in the next video where I post the next leg of this trip. You can also follow along on the Quadyak's Facebook page and check out my other Quadyak videos in the other playlist that shows how we built it and other trips I've done with it. I filmed about 100 hours this summer of this trip, and I'm not even done yet. If you want to see all of it, you can visit my Patreon page, or if you just want to support me and the trip and my videos and future projects, please check that out. Put a link below so you can find that and support me. I hope you do. Thank you very much. I'm Randy Ridings, and this is the Quadyak Coast to Coast Trip.